Welcome back to the garage. This is going to be a little different video. Gonna break away from the ATV stuff for a while. I have a lot of things I have to get done around my house, and my truck needs some attention, so we're gonna give it to him. And it's a him, of course. It's a 2012 F150. This has what they call the appearance package. It's also an FX4, and it has the rail locker and the upgraded suspension and all that. It is a EcoBoost twin turbo. It's the bigger V6. I think it's a 3.5 or a 3.6. It's in pretty good shape overall, I should say. It looks good. He's in good shape. I'll just give you guys a quick walk around so you can see it. And yeah, the only blemish I have here is some jerk gave me a nasty door ding in a parking lot. It almost looks like an orange paint, like maybe it's like one of those Home Depot carriages, but I can't be 100% sure. But that's the only real blemish on the body. Other than that, it looks really nice. As you can see, I took the step bar off this side and the other side, and let me just walk around real quick and we'll go over why I did that. You can see the other one's off right here, and let's just take a look at it real quick. It has a leather interior. I mean, this is it's a really nice truck. It's got the console. Let me go around the other side. The sun is really bright on this side. We'll open it up. You get a better look. You can see it better on this side. You can see the interior is really nice. Really nice in this truck. It's got leather. It's got the super cab. Again, the seats are nice. Everything's nice. I take really good care of it. See the dash and everything. It's a really nice truck, and it's done me really well over the years, and I really can't complain. Now, typically, I would, with 140,000, I would go and get a new truck. But the price of new trucks right now is absolutely insane. Even a used truck. I mean, I think I paid $27,000 for this truck when I bought it. I bought it second hand. It had 50,000 miles on it. You know, $27,000, not a big deal. You know, right now, to get a second-hand truck with 50, 60,000 miles on it, you're talking $40,000. I'm not paying $40,000 for a used truck with 50,000 miles. It's not happening. So I will show you what I have to do here. And I'm going to open this up and get a better look. And the body itself is in fantastic shape. There's no rot in the wheel wells or anything. The frame's got surface rot, but you know, we get that up here in New England because they salt the roads. But the problem I'm having with this truck right now is this right here, as you can see. Let me get down underneath here, give you a better look. My rocker panels are starting to let go, and they're getting really bad, as you can see. And I'm not ready to bite the bullet, spend all that money on the truck with the economy the way it is, so I'm gonna fix this. And to start, I have to take off the step bars. But as you can see, like, I mean, this truck is well worth putting the time and money into. So that's this side. Let me show you guys the other side. I think this side might even be worse. So I'll get down on this side here, and you can see there. I mean, that's a hole right there. The cab corner is completely gone over here. And as we transition down, it doesn't get much better. So we're starting to get some bubbling right here. So we're gonna attempt to do rocker panels in this truck. And I ordered them. Let's walk over here and take a peek at them. Here's the rocker panels right here. And it's a full set, as you can see. It goes all the way up. This is one side, the other side is still in the box. Got a little bit of shipping damage here. You can see right there, it's kind of bent. But I can straighten that out, not a big deal. It's got holes in it already for the door gasket and everything is here. So we are going to attempt to put those rocker panels in this truck, and hopefully this video helps some people out on keeping their vehicle a little longer. I mean, I don't know if you can really pick it up because the sun is really beaming today, but this truck is in great shape. I just can't bring myself to get rid of it, and it runs awesome. It really does. So that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna get set up, and we are going to figure out what I got to do to cut the rockers off this truck, just to see how far it is. Hopefully the back supports aren't really bad. If they are, I'll have to weld some. I'm just going to weld regular steel, and I'm not going to buy the factory ones. Those are like $450 for the set. These rockers right here were $300 for the pair on eBay. Hopefully they fit. We'll see. And then I'm going to do something with the undercarriage of this truck. I'm either going to paint it with rust inhibitor. They have this stuff that's supposed to stop rust and encapsulate it so it doesn't spread. I'm not really sure, or I'll have someone fluid film it. I'm not sure on that yet either, but something is going to get done to the undercarriage of this truck to preserve it so it doesn't get any worse than it already is. And that's it. So let's get going. Oh, one thing I want to show you guys before I continue on. These are all the hardware that were holding the step bar on the truck, and you saw how rotted it was underneath. And these came right off like butter. Let me show you the other side real quick too. I'll get out of the sun, might be able to see over here a little easier. So I just want to, right here again, they came off like butter. I'll tell you what I did. What I did was, when I put these step bars on this truck. They didn't come on the truck, I put them on. I think I paid like $500 for these things. They're heavy duty steel, and they're really good step bars. They're NFAB, if anybody's interested. What I did was I took the shitty hardware, the regular steel hardware that they had. They weren't even galvanized or anything. I took the hardware, threw it in the trash. Then I went to Home Depot and I bought stainless steel. It wasn't cheap, it was very pricey, and then I put Never-Seez on them. And you saw how rotted and rusted the underside of this truck is. Those things literally came right off. I mean, look at, I mean, they look like, they don't look like they were underneath this truck for 5 years, do they? Getting road salt and sand on them? No. So just a word of advice to anybody who's going to be putting step bars or anything on their truck: invest the money in stainless steel and use Never-Seez. You will thank yourself later. All right, guys, I did a lot of cleanup on this, so just give you guys an idea of what we got here. That's pretty rotted, and it's pretty rotted throughout. I did take the gasket off, or the weather stripping off the bottom here, but she's pretty rusty. So what I want to do, I think at this point, is I'm putting in a stand. I'm going to cut along here. I think. What do I want to cut a little bit lower? I'm going to cut along this seam right here. I just want to see if the back support is bad or not. Well, there we go. There's a big piece of rust, and we'll take a look. That's pretty much all I got to cut. All right, so what I did was, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I chiseled out all the metal that was stuck on there. Now the only thing I have left here, as you can see, are the pinch welds. So I am going to flap a disc off the pinch welds. I think this piece here is pretty structurally strong. Alright guys, the pinch welds are all off now of this thing. I ground them all off. I chiseled off all the rust and wire wheeled it. It's structurally sound, so we'll be able to reuse this. I gotta figure out, I got a buddy who's a body man. I gotta see if there's anything you can brush on here to stop rust or anything. I got a patch I have to fix here, which is okay. Alright guys, I got the truck in the garage. And I've already started working on it. I took the back door off. Back door's in the bed, I don't know if you can see it. And got the interior covered. Doing a little bit of grinding now. I'll show you what I got going on so far. Now down here, I had a rust hole here, and made a patch. I guess, huh? Patch is gonna go right here. I'm gonna weld this in now, and it's gonna probably be a little bit of hammering and stuff, but I'm gonna get that in there. I still gotta grind this pinch weld off and smooth this out. This is still pretty solid. All right, guys, so there's the patch right there. Came out pretty good. All right, I think what I'm gonna do here is just gonna take some tape, and I'm gonna kind of lay out what I want to do here. So I got some bubbles up in this pinch weld right here, so I think I'm gonna stay above that. Go to there, come at an angle. All right, guys, I did some more work off camera. At this point, I just want to tell everybody that I am in no way, means, or know how a professional body man. This is my first attempt at replacing a rocker panel. Never done it before. So you guys are gonna watch me learn how to do it, I guess. So what I did was I cut everything out that was rusty. I have prepped the edge where I'm gonna weld, as you guys can see, all the way down to there. And by stripping back the paint, I used one of these wheels here on an angle grinder. Took the paint off, didn't really gouge the metal. Did a nice job. It also gives me a chance to see if I have good metal to weld to. And as you guys can see, I have all good metal to weld to. Now underneath here is all the rusty stuff. And from what my body man friend told me, he said to use something that kills rust or prevents rust from reoccurring. And I got this Permatex rust treatment at the auto parts store. I guess it's fast drying or whatever. And you got to use like 2 to 3 coats. And I guess what this stuff does is it turns the metal black in about 15 minutes. And when it's turning it black, it's supposedly activating, and it's turning the turns the rust back into iron oxide, I guess, or something along those lines. Anyways, of course the compressor just kicked in, but yeah, I'm gonna put this on now, and I'm just gonna pour it in that cup right there, the solo cup, and I'm gonna apply it with a brush, and that's all you do, and I'll come back when I'm done. You can see that Permatex stuff is already starting to turn gray. Apparently it turns black, but let me give you guys a look. So this is what it looks like when you first put it on. This is actually the second coat. It goes on white and then it turns black. And once it turns black, it supposedly neutralizes the rust. So this is the second coat. I waited 15 minutes like the bottle said before you put the second coat on, which I did. And this stuff does absolutely nothing to a painted surface. It only reacts to rust. So as you can see, I do have it on the paint that's still good, and it's really not doing anything. Only the rust. It's starting to turn the rust of color. It looks a little bit purplish here in person, but yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do now is you got to wait 24 hours before you can do anything else. After 24 hours, you can paint it. They actually specify that you paint it because this isn't rust protector. It's rust preventative, like it's a neutralizer, and then you're supposed to top coat it with paint. It allows you to paint the rust and have paint stick and keep the rust from spreading, basically. I don't know, never used it before, but body shops swear by it, so we'll give it a shot, see what happens. I mean, it's not gonna hurt. The bottle was only 20 bucks, so If it doesn't work out, then I don't know, I'm out 20 bucks, I guess. No big deal. All right, I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, and we'll come back in the morning and take a look and see what happens. All right, guys, this is the new rocker panel, and I gotta cut it up. The tape line kind of shows where I need to cut it, and it's a shame because it is a brand new rocker panel, but I don't need the whole panel. I just need the bottom part. So I need the bottom part in the cab corner, and I need the bottom part up into this tape line. This front corner I don't need, but I'm going to cut it clean off here, and I'm going to hang on to it. Who knows, I might need it later, but I don't need it now. All right, guys, I have the piece in there. It's in pretty good shape. It doesn't meet up perfectly. It's aftermarket. It doesn't fit exact. Probably would have been a good idea if I took the whole rocker out, but that would require way more work than I really wanted to get into here, and I didn't need to because this is all solid over here anyway, and it's underneath the truck, so I don't care if it don't meet up perfectly. Maybe I'll slap a little body filler in there to fix it, but I think I can make it so that it blends a little better when we weld it. So I have the seam. It's all set here. It's all in. This was not a fast process, for anyone who was wondering. This actually took me quite a bit of time to get this to fit, only because it's not straight. I actually did make a mistake here, and I had to weld the piece back in. I didn't do a very good job because I didn't take all the paint off, and it kind of got contaminated. But I'll grind it up really good when I fill that. I should be able to fill that with weld. Shouldn't be a big deal. Once I pull this up, it's not that big a gap. So this is all tight here now. This is all ready for weld. All up in here, all across there. I'm going to take this off now. I'm going to finish cutting out in there, and then I have to paint underneath where I put the rust treatment, and then we could put this back up and start welding. All right, so what we got so far is, actually I got to clean that up a little better. What we have so far is I have painted. This is all painted now, rust treated and painted. So we're all set now to put the rocker back on, and I just need to clean up a little bit more up here. So we'll do that, and then we're gonna pop the rocker on and start welding this puppy in. Okay, I got the rocker panel up here now, and I got a few clamps on it, and it doesn't look bad. I do have a big gap there, and that's my fault. I screwed up. But anyway, a lot of my gaps are a little on the big side, but it is what it is. Fortunately, I'm not a body man, but I think I can take care of this with weld and filler. And the rubber gasket goes down here anyways, and that's kind of why I wanted the seam here, because you're not really going to see it. It's on the bottom side. It's going to be out of sight, so we got a little bit of, I got to do a little bit of hammering here to get this to meet up a little better. Again, this isn't factory, so I'm going to do that now. I'm going to hammer that a little, try to get it to meet up a little bit better before we start welding. I also need to drill holes in this because I don't have a pinch welder or a spot welder, so I'm going to have to plug weld. So I'm going to I'm going to take this back off, and I'm going to drill, I don't know, a series of holes in here so I can plug weld it. Alright guys, I'll show you real quick what I did. And these are the holes that I drilled. And I cleaned off the paint so that I could get a nice clean weld. And as you can see, I put them all the way down. And I cleaned the other side just to get the burr off. And also get the paint out of there. And I used a block of wood and a step bit. Alright, so I'm going to throw this back up there now. Get set up. Start welding. I got the plug welds done all the way down. I wanted to get that done before I went too much further, because this is the base, and then I'm gonna have to hammer the seam in as I work my way out, just to make it all fit. So I wanted to have this solid, which I do now, so we're basically good to go. All right, guys, I got the rocker panel all welded in. As you can see, this is where the seam is right here. Let me see if I can get the light so it's not being blocked. You see there, that's where I seamed them together. And I'll put a little bit of filler on here and basically sand it down and paint it. So you can see the welds here. They're not the prettiest welds in the world, but you're not going to see them anyways because this is where the rubber gasket goes on the bottom. A little difficult to get some lighting on here. And these here, that's the cab corner. That's all in. Nice. Yeah, this is the other side, but I didn't go into full depth on the first side that I did. So one thing I just want you guys to realize that fitment on this is the most important part. And this was not quick for me by any means. As you can see, you remember what the complete rocker panel looked like. So this is all that I'm actually using. I harvested this out of it. It took me a while. Basically, I cut it big, and then I used a flapper disc. The flapper disc actually takes this down really fast. So I used a flapper disc, put it up against the truck, found out where it needed to be trimmed some more, and I trimmed it up. And as you can see now, once I get this thing in there with clamps and stuff, and I'll be able to beat it in, and you can see it's pretty good fit all the way down. One other thing that I did also was I drilled these plug weld holes. Those were not in there. I drilled those in, and I'm gonna just hit with a paint removal tool disc on my right angle grinder and clean that up to make sure I get a clean weld, and I'll also clean the backside as well. And like I said, I'll put it up here, I'll clamp it, I'll use screwdrivers and stuff, magnets, and pull it till I get it flush, and then I'll tack it in a bunch of different spots, and if it looks good, I'll finish weld it. Again, the welding takes time, but I just wanted to go over this real quick. I had already finished the video, but I'm going to insert this clip in because I haven't actually put the video together yet. But I just wanted you guys to see this was not an easy process. This took me probably 2 days to fit this thing, to get it right. I had to regrind this seam, I had to regrind this, I had to trim it. But you always want to cut it big because you can't put metal back on, but you can always take it off. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys. And again, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Oh, and I took the rear door off, as you guys can see. It just makes it easier to work that I don't have to deal with that rear door. I didn't take the front door off because it opens wide enough where I can get in there and do whatever I needed to do, but the rear door was in the way. And it was really easy to get off. You just unplug the pigtail, and there's 4 bolts, and then your I don't know what you want to call it, your door restraint, so the door only opens up so far. And it's pretty easy to take off. A little bit heavy, you need 2 people, but it was pretty easy to take off. This is what they call the extended cab. The 4-door version of this has an actual cab corner, and you need to remove the bed in order to do it. Luckily, this doesn't have an actual cab corner because the door covers all this, so it made it a lot easier for me to cut this out, and I didn't even need to, as you can see there, I just went in there with a Dremel tool, with a cutoff wheel. I didn't need to take the bed off. So anyways, it's a little easier to do on the extended cab versus the crew cab. Let's give you guys a look at the stitch weld. The gap's not perfect, but I can fill that with weld. One thing you learn when you start doing fabrication, you learn how to fill gaps. That's for damn sure. All right, anyway, we set you up in a stand and show you guys how I'm spotting this. that's it. Not super pretty, but that's what a grinding wheel's for. You can see down here. Alright, well, I'm gonna shut you off, finish this up. And now the finish. Brand new cab again. And you guys can see from the interior that this truck is still in really, really good shape. Well worth the time and energy to get this truck back to its beautiful self once again. So I'll tell you what I got into this right now. Between buying the rockers, the paint, the sanding discs, and all that kind of stuff that goes along with it, I probably got about maybe 400 into it right now in parts. I also have 2 full weekends worth of labor into it, and I still don't have the actual cost of what the body shop's going to be to do the body filler, the prep work, and the color match paint. Still don't know what that's going to be costs. I'm thinking that this is probably going to be between a $800 and $1,000 project, and I'm thinking if I paid a body shop to do this, it'd be $4,000 or $5,000, I would think, just off the amount of work involved. So I got two full weekends in it, which is 4 days, and I've only got 1 rocker done. I mean, I'm not a professional body man, but if I can do this, you guys can do it too. It's really not that hard. The door just comes right off, and it's easier to I put the door in the back. It's easier just to take the door off. You can see what's left here of that first rocker panel, and I got the front cab corner still there. I'll hang on to that. Who knows, might need it later. This piece here is pretty much scrap. I'll save it for steel in case I need it for some other project, but that's pretty much it. All I gotta do now is prime it. There it is. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank everyone for subscribing, and we'll see you guys in the next video.